Hi and welcome back to the garden. In this video I'm going to be showing you some of the seeds that can be collected at this time of year in late summer. At this time of year there's an abundance of seed that's ripe and ready now for collection. I'm sat here beside one of my favourite grasses, and this is Stipa tenuissima. This is such a lovely grass. It has these lovely blonde flower plumes and it's very, very tactile. Now at this time of year, all you need to do to collect the seed on this is really, really easy. Pull your hand across it and out comes a handful of seed. So the seed, the individual seed, is on a parachute. So the seed's at the very, very end, and coming from that is this long parachute, and that seed, with the wind blowing, gets taken off far and wide. So all that seed there can be saved. So all you need is a brown paper bag. So I use these little envelopes, and it's as simple as putting that seed inside the envelope, writing on the envelope what it is, and it's also helpful if you put the year. So I'm just going to put the month and the year. And you need to be collecting the seed on a dry day. So don't be trying to attempt this after it's been raining, because if the seed is damp and wet, it's not going to store very well, it's going to rot. So you need to choose a dry day, and not directly in the morning, because you can have some dew on the plants in the morning. You want to wait till all that dew's evaporated after the sun comes out. So we're now at the moment early afternoon, and this is the perfect time to be doing it. So that's Stipa tenuissima. Now sat in the same position, I can also get the seed of another plant. And this one is Primula bulleyana. So this one had the most beautiful orange flowers, and they come up in whorls. So as you can see, there's even seed from the Stipas trying to stick to this, because it is very sticky. As you can see now, that seed, the seed pods are actually beginning to open, and that's telling us that that seed is ready to be distributed. So when the plant's in this kind of stage, what you can do is snip off all the ones that are ready. And if you have something like this kind of lid or something you can put them on, you can bring them directly here, and then if you just tip the seed pod upside down, a little bit of gentle persuasion, you'll see all those brown lovely seeds emerging from that capsule. So what you tend to do is, if we do this and release the seeds first, and then store the seeds that are being released and discard the capsule. Because if we stored the whole thing together, there's more of a chance of that getting rotten. So it's just a case of opening the pod up with your fingers and then just teasing out the seed from inside that capsule. Then if we discard those and then then with another envelope with the name on it. And the date. We can then store those seeds quite safely inside the envelope. And there are way more I could be collecting, which is for the purpose of showing you. I'm just going to do that minute. So we're now going to move on to the Polemonium. This Polemonium is a beautiful blue, and these older spikes, as you can see from them, I've already set seed. So it's a case with these, I'm going to take the whole thing right down, and then I'm going to place the whole thing upside down, get rid of that bit, and all we need to do is turn it upside down, give that a little bit of a shake, and the lovely black seeds are released. If we just give that more of a shake, because there's lots and lots of seeds inside these seed heads. So as you can see, these are very, very generous with the seed. It looks like most of it. And then if we get another one, I'm taking that right back down, and again turning the whole thing upside down. I'm just chopping off this end bit, make it a little bit easier. Oh, there's a little bug in this one. You can go back on the plant. So it just goes to show these seed capsules are actually a haven for little insects as well, which is why we tend to leave everything on over the winter time, because the insects will hibernate and get shelter from the cold weather and the rain and get protection inside these little compartments. I've always found seed collection fascinating. It's something I really, really enjoy doing. Every seed's slightly different. I think it's, for me, one of the enjoyable things of gardening, collecting your own seeds. And especially when you do sow them and you make new plants. It's absolutely amazing to think that you've actually collected the seed and sown it, and you've grown on a new plant. So I'm just going to try and remove some of the debris that's not seed. And then if I just tap that to one side, I'm going to try this method because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because the seed's heavier than the bits of leaf and bits of chaff, we call it. It should blow away, leaving the seed on the tray lid. So then we just get another one of these envelopes. And all that seed's collected. So this is Polemonium. And that is the date collected. Now on to some Aquilegias. Aquilegias are one of my favourite spring plants, and throughout this border we have numerous different types. They generally are the Aquilegia vulgaris, and they're in different colours, purples, pinks, and this particular one has been waiting to be harvested for a while. Because these are early flowering, these flower around May time, certainly by about July, the end of July, these seed pods have already formed and the seed is ready for collection, but for some reason I've just not got around to it yet. So luckily I can just do that shake and I can hear that there are some seeds that haven't been distributed yet. So I'm going to snip a few of these heads off, and all we need to do with these is just upturn them, give them a bit of a wiggle, and out comes all those seeds. And just to show you, what I'll do is I'll just show you on top of this tin lid. You just turn it upside down, give it a bit of a wiggle, and out come all of those beautiful seeds. And you know the seed's ready for collection, because if you do this too soon, you'll find that the seed will not come out. The seed pod itself will still be closed at the top, and when it's ready for collection, those very top bits start to unfurl and they start to open. And eventually, if you didn't do this, that seed would drop and fall onto the ground, and you'd have a new progeny of seedlings coming up in the spring. So always make sure you give them a really good twist and turn to make sure you do get the seeds out, because sometimes they do need a bit of gentle persuasion. And then all you need to do is tap them to one corner, get your seed packet, and all them beautiful seeds go straight into the packet. So this is Aquilegia vulgaris and the date. And then while I'm here, there's another seed which is right next to me, and that is the seed of the poppy. And these are the seed heads, and you know when the seeds are ripe because the seed pod goes this brown colour and you start to see holes appearing in the very top, and if you give it a little rattle, you'll be able to hear the seeds inside rattling around. So with these, I'm just going to chop them off. Have your paper envelope ready. Upside down in the paper envelope. Little bit of a wiggle. And literally you have all that black seed collected. My very last plant I'm going to be collecting seeds from is this beautiful blue cornflower. And what I've done, a couple of days ago, I had a go at collecting some of this, because what I noticed was, as I keep going out to do this, all the seed heads, I've already distributed the seed already, and I kept missing the boat. So the other day, I thought, I'm going to wait, I'm going to go outside, make a point of doing it, and collect the seed heads. And what I did was, chopped off some of the seed heads before it got a chance to be distributed. So, these are what I collected. And what I'm going to do with these is, you just need to pull them apart slightly. Now each of these seed heads only has not that many seeds, to be honest, and you've got to really go through them in order to release the seeds it has. And you can tell the seeds quite easily because they have these little bristles on the end. They almost look a little bit like a paintbrush, a miniature paintbrush. And these are the seeds. So within the capsule itself, you'll find a lot of other things, a lot of other material, but it's these ones that look a bit like a paintbrush that we're interested in, because they're the actual seed. So this is a case of going through each one and just releasing the seeds. So the seeds can be placed inside the envelope. And now it's just a case with the rest of these of being very, very careful, opening each one up individually and just getting the seeds out, because that's the only thing we're interested in. The rest can be discarded. And it's a good idea not to do this when you have a windy day, or if you do have a wind, take these inside and do this somewhere where the wind isn't going to blow them everywhere. Because I've done it before. I've gone outside, collected seed, it's been perfectly still, and then all of a sudden a gust of wind comes and all your seeds are everywhere. And it's just one of those things. Once they're gone, they're gone. So if they're precious, be very careful and take them indoors where there's no wind and they can't be effective in that way. I'm going to continue sorting these seeds. I hope you found this video really informative. I hope it's given you an idea of the kind of seeds that can be collected. These seeds collected today in this video can all actually be sown now, if you really wanted to. We've already sown some cornflower, not this variety, but a different type we've sown this year, black ball. The Primula bulleyana will need a period of cold treatment, so that can be sown now. And if you allow that to just sit during the winter time, allow the cold to get to the seed, and then come the spring, the seed will germinate. From my experience last year, sowing the Aquilegia seeds at this point didn't make any difference. The seeds that we grew all germinated the following spring. So with that in mind, I'm not going to sow any of those at this time of year. The Stipa tenuissima, I'm also going to wait for the spring, and the poppies, I'm also going to wait for the spring for those as well. But they can be sown and overwintered in the garden if you choose to. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the video. Please give us a like if you have. Please also share our videos on social media. Please subscribe. And if you do have any comments, please drop them in the comments box below. So we'll see you very soon on the next video. In the meantime, please take care. Now, I'm sat beside one of my favourite grasses, and this is Stipa tenuissima. This is such a lovely grass, very tactile. Lovely to put your hands through it and feel it and
making love to it.